Over a year ago, I did a video called Crazy Mount Ideas for Red Dead Online. Long before Red Dead Online was out and long before Red Dead Redemption 2 was available for us to play, I had ideas for some wild, crazy, mythical, legendary, ridiculous mounts. And this is a sequel to that video, and we're going to be a little bit more realistic with these horses. Because I think it's only a matter of time before Rockstar does go more mythical, legendary, crazy, like I did in that video. But before we get to that point, I think that we're going to see a little bit more realism when it comes to future horses in Red Dead Online. By the way, if there is a horse breed that you would love to see from real life and or Red Dead Redemption 2, some which I will go over in this video, feel free and let me know what horse you'd like to eventually ride around on in Red Dead Online below in the comment section. So we're going to start things off over on Discord with Red. He had a few ideas and he wants some big boys or big girls in Red Dead Online, including this Percheron. I think this is a big giant French horse from the research I did. It's a big horse. I wonder how that's going to be in comparison against a Shire. So that's one of the horses that he wants. Another one is called a gypsy horse or an Irish cob. We'll talk more about this horse in a minute because it's an absolutely beautiful horse. Another horse that Red liked to see is this thing, this creature, very majestic looking. I think it's called the Cayenne, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I mean, this is Red's research, so hashtag blame Red, right? And of course, Elephants on Acid had to post a zombie horse from Game of Thrones. This is not my crazy mounts video, Elephants. You're like a year or two late on that one. Anyways, moving over to our YouTube community tab, we only really had one recommendation, one idea, and thanks to Commander McGarrick, for the Budweiser Clydesdales. Now, those of you familiar with Americana, are American beers and advertising, as well as Super Bowl commercials. I don't think that a Super Bowl Budweiser commercial has gone by where the majestic, gigantic Clydesdale has not been featured. Look how huge Clydesdales can be. I looked at a side-by-side comparison between Shires and Clydesdales, and I think Clydesdales might be a little smaller. Not by much, though. But another big, giant workhorse that I would eventually like to see added to Red Dead Online. In fact, some time ago, I actually joked about having my own Clydesdale to ride around on. And if they end up adding the Clydesdale, yes, it'll receive the name Galaxy Traveler. And I'll most definitely ride around on this big behemoth throughout Red Dead Online. Now, for some of these other real-life horses, all these horses are technically real, by the way. I went to a few websites. This one is Wide Open Pets. Now, what's interesting is a lot of the horses featured on this top 10 list, world's most popular horse breeds, a lot of these horses are already in the game, like the Arabian, Thoroughbreds, Tennessee Walker, Morgans, Paints, along with the Appaloosas, the miniature horse, I guess the ponies. I guess we could have ponies in the game if you guys want ponies, but I feel like the Arabians are small enough already, but a lot of you want donkeys as well eventually to purchase and ride around on. Hey, I'm all about the mule life. I'm on Team Mule. Okay, so like Warm Bloods, there's definitely Warm Bloods in the game already, including one that a lot of people really would like to see or related to him. We'll talk about it in a moment. And Delusions, I mispronounced that, but it's another horse already in the game. But the one horse on this list that I wanted to talk about real quick before we move on to the next list is the one I featured, the Quarter Horse. So the Quarter Horse, known as the fastest breed of horse over short distances. Quarter horses are popular mounts for both trail and competition. They're often used for Western pleasure riding and other Western events such as barrel racing, roping, cutting, but they also make excellent hunt sea mounts and even racehorses. So I would like to see some quarter horses eventually added to the game for us to purchase in Red Dead Online and ride around on, because overall it feels like, from a little bit of research I've done regarding the quarter horse, that it could be a pretty impressive animal. The next list we'll go over real quick is from ilovenature.world. More horses, right? So if you're a horse lover, I bet you're enjoying this video. And if you are, a like would be very much appreciated. And once again, you'll notice that a lot of the horses featured are already in the game, such as, once again, the Morgan horse, the Halflinger. The Marari is one of the horses that I would like to eventually see as well. The Marari is a rare breed from Marar, it's a region in India. I apologize if I messed that one up. They can be easily identified by their unique inward-turning ear tips. The Marari are a hardy breed that is descended from crossing Arabian horses with the native Indian ponies. The Rathers are traditional rulers of the Marwar region, were the first to breed this kind of horse in the 12th century. These horses were used centuries as cavalry horses in the Marwar region and have been extolled for their loyalty and bravery on the battlefield. So this could actually be a really good future war horse added to Red Dead Online. Maybe it's like the best of both worlds. It's brave, it's also fast and tough, and it's definitely war horse worthy in my opinion. So maybe we'll see the Marari added somewhere down the road. Scrolling down, let's see, we already got the Appaloosa Mustang once again. And here's another one that we already technically have its ancestor in the game, the Turkmen. But why not go ahead and add this horse as well? They'll call Teki. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I mispronounce these, I'm sorry, horses. I'm sorry. But the Alkal Teki is a breed of the national emblem of Turkmenistan. They're known for their speed, endurance, intelligence, and distinctive metallic sheen of their coat. Their shiny coats has earned the nickname of golden horses. Besides being beautiful, they are actually very hardy and adapted, particularly to survive in severe climate conditions. They are thought to be one of the oldest existing horse breeds in the world, and like I said, they are the descendants of the Turkmens, so they're definitely related to Turkmens, and I guess you could add them to the Turkmen category in the stables, and I think this would be another fantastic horse breed to add. And there's different variations of these horses. You just got to go on Google, look them up, and you'll see different coats of paint, different like Akal Tekis, different types of Clydesdales look-wise. So if you don't want your Akal Teki to look like that, I'm sure there's a few variations out there in the real world that Rockstar could use, similar to some of the other animals. The Illusion, once again, beautiful horse right there. And here we are. I promised we'd come back to this horse. The Gypsy horse, also known as the Irish Cob. Now this thing is a very pretty horse. Whether you're looking right here in this black and white one, or the one that Red brought up, this brown and white variation, this is an absolutely gorgeous horse. It is native to the British Isles, although it's particularly associated with the gypsies, traveling people of Britain and Ireland. It wasn't considered a breed until 1996. This breed is highly prized for its feathering, long-haired and starts below the knee and flows over the hooves. The gypsy horse was bred by the Roma of Great Britain to pull, Vardos, wagons, which they live and traveled. So I don't know if this would be a very good racing horse or whatnot, but it would obviously be a good workhorse, and it would look really, really good while doing it. So the Gypsy horse is definitely a horse I think a lot of people, I could see them riding around this beautiful horse in Red Dead Online. And the final horse I want to go over on the list is the number 1 horse on it, the Frisian, or the Frisian. I think it's the Frisian. Once again, if I mispronounce this, I apologize to the horses. The stunning breed originated from Friesland in the Netherlands. Don't let their size fool you. So this is a pretty big size horse. This breed is surprisingly nimble and graceful. It is believed that during the Middle Ages in Europe, ancestors of this noble breed were in high demand as war horses because their ability to carry knights in armor. Despite their popularity in the Middle Ages, this breed has actually almost disappeared on more than one occasion. But in recent decades, the Frisians have been growing in popularity again. So this is another big, beautiful war horse, similar to the Marari, that you could add to that category, which would also probably have very impressive stats. So not only would it be brave against predators and NPCs and other players, it would also probably have some very good like speed and acceleration and stamina to it. So these are the horses that I went over on these 2 lists. Once again, I Love the Natural World is where I found this list of some of the most beautiful horse breeds in the world. Now, 2 more submissions that came in via Discord from Pistol Pete. I almost missed it. I apologize, Pistol Pete. By the way, F in the comment section for Pistol Pete's Red Dead Online character. His brother accidentally deleted it, so now Pistol Pete has to start completely over. I'm glad I don't have a brother. Anyways, so this is another extremely beautiful horse, the Knapstrupper, which was one of the 2 suggestions that Pistol Pete would like to see in Red Dead Online. So there's different variations of the Knapstrupper. Once again, if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry, horse. And the other horse that Pistol Pete would like to see is the Peruvian Paso. Once again, another gorgeous looking horse that I would not mind seeing in the stables and riding around with players and maybe even purchasing myself in Red Dead Online. The remaining horses on this list that we're going to go over comes from GTABase.com. Credit to GTA Base, along with their subsection Red Dead Base, for creating all this awesome data and information for us to go over today. And at the very top of the list is perhaps a horse that we will most likely see in a future update to Red Dead Online. The Rose Gray Bay Arabian horse. You can get this in Blackwater during the epilogue. It is in story mode. I believe it's the most expensive horse, I think. I could be wrong about that, but stat-wise, it's one of the best. It's even better than the Black Arabian, so the fact that it's over $1,200 in story mode, it probably is going to be considerably higher whenever it makes the transition and gallops on over to Red Dead Online. But stat-wise, this is a phenomenal horse, and it's so good that it's rated at the top of the list when it comes to the horses in Red Dead Online. So yeah, I think that we'll most likely see the Rose Gray Arabian horse sooner or later in Red Dead Online. Let's see, the next horse on this list is the Cremello Gold Dutch Warmblood, aka Buell. Now, we technically already have Buell in Red Dead Online. You always see him by Hamish, wherever Hamish happens to pop up whenever he's given missions. It's like whack-a-mole with these pop-up ads. But you always see Buell like tagging along with Hamish in Red Dead Online. He makes cameos here and there. But wouldn't it be cool if you could have your own male or female version of Buell in the game? And I'm sure this is eventually going to happen. The ability for us to purchase our very own Cremello Yellow Colt Dutch Warmblood. And of course, it has fantastic stats. In fact, according to Red Dead Base, it has the highest stamina, speed, and acceleration of the Warmbloods. Another popular horse from Red Dead Redemption 2 is the Sil Brown Thoroughbred, aka Rachel. This is an absolute beautiful horse, and I would very much like to have this added to the Thoroughbreds in Red Dead Online, because this is a very highly rated horse in the game. It wouldn't surprise me if eventually we see the Sil Brown Thoroughbred added to Red Dead Online as another horse that we'll be able to purchase down the road. The next horse I would like to see eventually added to Red Dead Online is a horse that some of you that pre-ordered the special or ultimate editions of Red Dead Redemption 2 spent a considerable amount of time with. The Dappled Black Thoroughbred. I grew to absolutely love this horse, and even though it's not at the top of the rating, it's still a very good horse. It's basically side by side with the Red Chestnut Arabian, but if I had to pick between the Red Chestnut Arabian and the Dappled Black Thoroughbred, I would definitely go with the Black Thoroughbred. But for those of us that pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition of Red Dead Redemption 2, we also got the Black Chestnut Thoroughbred, and the stats are relatively the same according to, once again, Red Dead Base. So it's quite possible that we technically already have a reskinned version of the Dappled Black Thoroughbred, as in the Black Chestnut Thoroughbred, in Red Dead Online already. So technically, maybe we already have that horse. For those of us that pre-ordered via Ultimate Edition, we just didn't know it yet. And the final horse that I want to go over is Hera, aka Sadie Adler's Pink Mustang from Red Dead Redemption 2. Credit once again to GTA Base, aka Red Dead Base, for the screenshot. And from the moment I saw this horse during my live stream, I thought this was a very interesting looking beast. Fascinating, beautiful in its own way. And I would like to see the pink Mustang eventually added to the stables of Red Dead Online. And hopefully, similar to the way Rachel is, as well as Buell, that this would be the best stat-wise Mustang in the game. Because at the moment, the Mustangs are kind of a mid-lower tier horse. So maybe with the pink Mustang, it could be like maybe a little bit better stat-wise and be a little bit, more of an upper, maybe even competitive with the top-tier breeds of horses in Red Dead Online. So there you go. The various horses that myself and other viewers and subscribers would like to see in Red Dead Online. Some are not in the game yet. All of them, of course, are real-life horses. Others are over in Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode, just waiting to just trot on over from Red Dead Redemption 2 to Red Dead Online. Wait a minute, hold on, I forgot. We have a bonus! Yes, a bonus suggestion from Kane. He doesn't want a horse, though. He wants a camel, so he can name it Camel Joe. Very funny, Kane. In fact, once again, plugging my Crazy Mounts video from a year ago, the camel was actually featured as one of those mounts. And it was actually, believe it or not, one of the less crazy ideas, because people do use camels as mounts similar to horses. In fact, there was a time during the 1800s when the U.S. government and the U.S. Army actually brought over some camels. True story. Once again, thanks to everybody on Discord and the YouTube community tab, and of course GTA base, Red Dead base, for the ideas of horses that we all would like to eventually see added to Red Dead Online. So of all the horses that we mentioned today, including the camel, thanks Kane, as well as horses that exist in the real world that have yet to make their appearance in Red Dead Online, what horse would you like to see in a future update for you to purchase and ride around on? Feel free and let us know your horse or horses that you'd like to eventually see in Red Dead Online below in the comment section.